So let's bring in George Washington University law professor Jonathan Turley on that, and also on the breaking news tonight on the investigation into Hunter Biden. Jonathan, good evening. Great to see you as always. So,
good evening.
What's your take on this? As I said, you can watch anywhere on cable news. They're going to say it's ridiculous, it's over, it's too late. I know you feel that the runway is very short, but when you do hear about these conflicts between the state legislature, which is supposed to have governance over how elections are run in each state, being overridden by courts that are largely elected in these states, it does feel like it raises constitutional questions.
These are not frivolous concerns, and certainly they're important going forward. We do know there were illegal orders given. We do know that there were votes negated. We do know that there were votes not counted. But this is unlikely to succeed because of the relief that is being sought. This is sometimes called a Hail Mary filing. It doesn't quite capture it. This is not Aaron Rodgers throwing a touchdown from midfield in Lambeau. This is Aaron Rodgers throwing a touchdown from midfield in Dallas for a score in Wisconsin. I mean, this is a feat that would be very difficult to achieve. It hasn't been achieved in the past. And part of the problem is this sticker shock, that they're asking for relief that would effectively negate the certification of millions of votes. And that has not succeeded. And you were right to note about the Pennsylvania case. There was not a single dissenting vote. In order to accept a case like this, you're going to need 5 justices. So you could lose Chief Justice Roberts, but you got to bring along all 5 of the other conservative justices. Not one of them filed a dissent when the Pennsylvania case was dismissed.
Yeah, and they don't want to overturn the certification of the vote. There's still some questions out there about the existing decision that was made, which overrode by the state legislatures, and maybe down the road some of those will be dealt with by them. It's an open question, as I understand it. Hunter Biden, what do you think about all this tonight?
Well, this is an extraordinary development. Back in October, Senator Ron Wyden and Chuck Schumer were asking the Justice Department not to investigate Hunter Biden. Many of us have been following this story for a very long time. There's been a blackout in the media. They've just refused to really press Joe Biden on it. What we do know is that there is an investigation going forward. That's not that much of a surprise because the laptop was subpoenaed. They don't just do that for recreational purposes. And on the laptop were some really disturbing emails. And as a lawyer, you look at it and there was an informality, a fluidity to these business deals that were being discussed, millions of dollars involving Hunter Biden, his uncle, and references to Joe Biden. There were gifts like a diamond that came from China. All of these things tend to worry you as an attorney because there's so much of this in play, and it's easy to violate laws, including tax laws. The other thing is that when you have a tax investigation, that ultimately looks at all of these transactions, all of this money, and whether you pay taxes on what you received.
Yeah. We have no idea if Hunter Biden is guilty in this case, but the investigation is ongoing. And as you say, Al Capone, it came down to the taxes in the end. So we'll see where this case goes. Jonathan Turley, great to see you. Thank you, sir.
Thanks.